Good morning. Today is Friday. It is the 10th of October, and this is part 3, I guess, of my ongoing videos about this success talk that I went to years ago and heard this gentleman talk about success. And just to recap, when he came out, he said, "I'm just a businessman, but everything I attribute my success to comes from this." He held up a Bible and everybody went crazy. Then he started talking. And yesterday we talked about Deuteronomy 8:18. I talked about Joshua 1:8. Today I want to talk about Proverbs 18:21. And this is somewhat of an interesting part of the talk that he gave, and I might have to do 2 parts on this, because there's one part that is specifically from this guy's seminar, and there's another part that I've learned since then from audios and books by somebody else, and I'll get to that in a minute. But let me read Proverbs 18:21 for you. It says, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." So power of life and death is in the tongue. Many people have talked about your tongue is like the rudder on a ship, that it determines the direction that you're going in. And many talks about the way you speak is very important, and you want to speak positively and not negatively. And you've probably heard a lot about that. But what this gentleman talked about was a little bit more in detail. He referred it to the parable of the seeds that fell on the rocky ground, and you know that parable. And what he said was that he believed from his studying of the scripture that our seeds are our words. Our words are our seeds. That when we speak, we're sowing seeds into the world, into our future, into other people's lives. And that because of the idea of sowing and reaping, which is also, that's in Galatians, that the seeds we sow will determine the kind of crop we get. Okay, and he used to say, it's kind of funny. He says you sow crappy seeds, you're going to get a crop of crap. So sorry for the visual on that. But anyway, so what he was saying is sow good seeds, and you get a crop. So I tell this story in the book, which is a story about when I was in New Orleans before we moved to Baton Rouge. I used to go every morning to the same little 7-Eleven and get a cup of coffee. And every morning I would put the coffee on the counter, and the lady would say 59 cents. And what she got was 59 cents. Well, I got a job in Baton Rouge, and before we actually moved, I was staying at a friend's house, at a relative's house. And the first morning, I got up and I went to a 7-Eleven in Baton Rouge. And I opened the door and I heard, "Good morning, sir. How you doing? Good to see you." Like, whoa, what's that all about? So, "Can I help you find something?" I said, "Well, I'm just trying to get a cup of coffee." She said, "Well, the coffee's back there, and the condiments. If you need anything, just let me know. I'll help you find it." So I go get my coffee, and I come, and I put it on the counter, and she says, "I haven't seen you around here. You new?" I said, "Well, yeah, I just took a job up here, spending some time with her." "Well, welcome. I hope you come back." She was very friendly. I don't even know how much the coffee was. I gave her money. She gave me change. And she had a big smile on her face. I said, "Thank you, I will come back." She sowed the seeds of friendship and friendliness, and she got back from me friendliness. The lady in New Orleans sowed the seeds of nothing, like 59 cents, and what she got was 59 cents. And what I've learned is that what you say to people is the seed that you sow, and what you get in response is going to be the crop that you get, the harvest you reap from those seeds that you sow. And so the message for today is beware of the seeds that you sow, and sow good seeds. Speak good words. Those are good seeds. They will reap a good harvest for you on the back end. And that is a message for building relationship, and all success is coming from relationship, because God put us on this earth not to live in a vacuum, but to live in community with others and to live in relationship. So the message for today is your words are your seeds, sow good seeds so that you will reap a good harvest. I'm going to continue these next time. I'm going to talk about how that works and the message of it. So take care. God bless everybody. I probably will not do another one until Monday. Today is Friday, so give me a couple of days. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend.